Do y'all remember how hot my last recording room was? This one is just as hot. I don't understand. I don't get it. Let's take care of this image. We did a plate shot here. I do want to demonstrate, in case you haven't seen other tutorials where we've done a plate shot, just how to kind of combine the two images. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is first grab the image that has the couple inside of it, which is this shot right here. And we're just going to process this with a standard kind of look to it. Okay, so I'm actually going to use my standard color. And what we'll do is, it actually looks really good the way it is, but let's add a little bit of pizzazz to it. A little pizzazz. I'm going to test my color temperature and see where I like it. If I like it a little bit more on the cool side or more on the warm side, and I do kind of like that warmth to it actually. Has a nice look right around 6600. So let's keep it there. What I'm going to do also is grab a radial filter, and let's go ahead and kind of add some drama to this by just pulling in my burn right over the couple. So I kind of want to darken the background just a little bit and kind of pull in the attention in the scene and really deepen the effect overall for the look. Okay, I'm going to look at my highlight and clipping alert by pressing J and just kind of balance my blacks so I don't clip too much of the blacks, but just have them kind of set on this nice deep dark background. All right, so I'm going to press J to turn that off, and then what I'm going to do now is grab my adjustment brush. I think it might look cool if we exaggerate that sun flare that's coming up and over the whatchamacallit, that building. Let's do it. Let's do it. See if we like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's make it bigger. Make it bigger. Isn't bigger always better? No? Yes? Pretty sure it is. Actually, no. I just printed a picture of Ellie, my daughter, for our studio for newborn stuff. And yeah, it's a 40 by 60. And there is such a thing as too big. I promise you. It's ginormous. Get your heads out of the gutter, guys. Seriously. What's wrong with you? I'm just adjusting this to kind of get it to look the way that I want. I like that right there. Great. So let's do one more thing. I want to do a detail enhancement over their veil and kind of this dress, just to kind of like really make it pop and get the highlights to kind of kick, especially in the veil itself. So let's get that veil popping. Let's get their clothing a little bit popping. Actually, you know what? I kind of just like it in the veil, so let's just place it over the veil. Because the dress is already pretty dang bright, just due to the lights. So let's just give that veil a little kick. And I'm going to leave it a little bit more messy. I'm just going to go ahead and feather off the edge on each side. Kind of wrap it around. That's perfect. Okay, great. So we've done our basic processing. So that's step number one. Whenever we do a plate, we do our basic processing on the image that has the couple in it. Because what we're going to do now is we're just going to go to the next image, which is our plate image. And I'm just going to press previous. It's going to take all of our settings from the last image and paste it right onto this one. So basically we should have the exact same tonality moving from image to image. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select both these images. Oops, I just went full screen. Let's select both these images. I'm going to press right click on my mouse, edit in, and we're going to say open as layers inside of Photoshop. This is where a pen tool is going to come in really, really handy because, well, doing anything in Photoshop is nice to have a pen tool. A Wacom. Wacom. I'm using like an older Intuos, but again, use whatever you like. Use whatever you like. This thing, I do like Wacom products a lot because of their smoothness. And I'm only saying this right now because Photoshop is taking forever to load. So if my editors are like, Pi, what the freak? You've talked about a Wacom a million times before. It's because this thing is loading. There's nothing else for me to do. All right, so what we're going to do is center this up. I'm holding down spacebar while I click and drag. And we're going to select both of these images by holding down Shift and just left clicking so we have both layers selected. You're going to go up to the Edit menu. Even when you're using a tripod, you're still going to do this. We're going to go to Auto Align Layers. And you're going to just click auto and press OK. This is going to align your plate layer with the underlying layer so that everything is lined up. Now at this point, with the couple on top, all I'm going to do is add a mask. And what we're going to do is we paint black to conceal and white to reveal, and we want to conceal on this layer. So I'm going to bring my flow up. I'm just going to kind of zoom in a little bit. And with both layers aligned, I can simply just paint out the flash stand and reveal the background where my assistant was. Okay, it is as simple as that, guys. Very, very easy. You can also, if you want to, feather off the effect of the flash. So for example, you can see how the flash is kind of spilling right here, and the ground right here is a little bit brighter. So what I would do is just open up my brush by just increasing the size by either using the left or right bracket or just increasing the size up in the menu. And then turn the flow down to, like, let's say between 2 and 5%. So let's go to 3%. And then all I'm going to do is feather it off. So basically you just have a nice subtle graduation to where the light is landing versus where it's not, okay? Here's one thing to keep in mind. When you are printing this, you want to zoom in and just make sure that there's no like you generally want to use a harder edge brush, because otherwise if you feather too much, you'll notice that certain things like the trees and things that might be moving, like branches that move in the wind, they'll get a little bit blurry because there's slight movement between layers. So use a smaller brush and be more precise with the way that you're kind of painting things out, and zoom in and look just to make sure that your grass or trees or anything that could potentially moving a little bit between shots isn't actually kind of blurry in the final image. Otherwise, when you blow this up, you will notice that some areas appear to be just a little bit fuzzy. But that's it. That's as simple as it gets in terms of a plate shot and how you remove the subject that you don't want, or the the person that might be holding this lights or the light stand itself. So let's go ahead and save this out by pressing Control S. Let's close it out and let's go ahead and move on to the next tutorial.